fuck security, fuck people who abuse their power, and fuck having a bunch of unqualified, unsupervised psychos working together in space. We will get back to that later. I'm Brian Boggs, the televangelist, here to tell you about the money-making Bible. The good book demands that you invest your money into Zorg coin and Space Jesus tokens. Also, written somewhere in my Bible it says I get a lightsaber from Final Fantasy, so I will strike you down. You just have to wait until I finish my turn. Then, a creepy no-good sinner spawned out of my confessional. I tried smacking the religion into him like a pimp slap from a nun, but they just wanted to talk.
Sir? Sir!
Yo.
Your eyes! They call out to my bloodshot red eyes.
I told him I get stoned, which was my excuse for everything. I established our next move. First, we must get drunk. Ramadan Steve responded like an almost too cool for school teacher.
Hell yes.
I think God had the right plan for me. It may have been slippery, but Moses didn't have anti-slip shoes, just two of each animal in a big ass boat filled with animal shit. Then we delivered the liver of Christ its blood or whatever. We started smashing more bottles than the Incredible Hulk trying to stock the shelves of a liquor store. Then some stranger gave me all access, like getting a key to the city that actually opens doors. 2 all access IDs is better than 1. I could unlock a locker while opening a door at the same time. Well, I could probably do that just as fast with 1, but a backup is good. I did the first thing anyone with all access would do, and that is take a hatchet from botany. For resource gathering. Open blue doors no longer mattered now, because I could open them up on my own. I gave the clown all access to try and revive the YouTube prank community for some reason. Now time for the main event. Walking into security and right into that armory. I stashed 1 energy gun into my backpack, but then it was too full for a second one. Since I was feeling greedy, I tried walking out with it in hand. However, the chief of the fun-killing tribe was on point with his shots. Oh, come on. I was arrested for having a wonderful time on my vacation around the unrestricted station while murderous pigs roam free. I roleplayed as a superhero that had the power of surviving, despite wanting to hang himself with his sheets. What a bitch-ass power. It was my release minute, and I was already being approached by another officer.
I'll switch out my taser for that sword.
Nah, you know, the ability to stun people from a distance might be more useful in combat than my sword. Son of a bitch, they're gonna make me regret not selling out like being blackballed.
My sword now.
For real?
You want to call the police? Oh wait.
Well, you had me there. This power-abusing junkie wasn't gonna get away with stealing the holy blade. I don't care if it meant going back to jail or even sacrificing myself. I attacked the insecure guard with all I had until his buddies jumped in on the one-on-one like help defense. These no-good double-teaming bastards beat me nearly to death, but at least the sword thief was feeling the sting of God's wrath. Then they realized they needed me alive.
Don't kill the chaplain. We have a cult. Fuck.
Karma rewards us godlike people. Now I was important to this station's survival, and the prick who wasn't is now dead. I also had both items that were offered in the trade earlier. I may have been on the good side of things, but I remembered that beaten sect just gave me, so I remained neutral by letting a detainee go. My new cape was looking fresh as I denied a spaceman that looked like Mr. Slave re-entry onto our station. Someone out there had some beef with him, and I wasn't gonna let him run from it like some vegan pussy. Then an old friend made his return.
I'm back.
Steve! I shouted because Ramadan was back in my life. A foe wielding Satan's blade seemed like he wanted a biblical spar, so I laid down the scripture on the Satanist harder than being baptized in holy wet cement. My actions caused the cult to gang up on me, and for my former ally to reveal his true nature.
I'm so sorry. I found a new faith.
Oh boy, I'm a student of the periodic table, but I'm a ling too, so I'm not learning that witchcraft chemistry today. Instead, I live the life of cigars and booze, like my idol Bender. Identity theft is a heinous crime. It should only be done under certain circumstances, like acquiring liquor. Take notes, kids.
In school, not here.
Another tip I have is bottle smashes don't bring people down long enough to arm blade them. My lungs needed a recharge. Due to all the running, my attempted victim that I made traumatized the bottles ran right into me, so I tapped into their fear like the scarecrow. Later on in the library, the curator was brain dead, so it was my duty to get rid of him like an auto-idle player kick system. My DNA extracting was being watched like having a hacked webcam until a smoke cloud of tape concealed the look into my personal world. I transformed into this dead man. Fuck, I'm breaking my identity stealing rule. I need to somehow tie this in with booze. Well, I'm visiting the bar and breaking no rules like a faithful married man. What do we have here? Another brain dead broad. I guess it's time to cheat the so-called rules some more. I then used the null rod for its intended purpose. Oh, and I picked on some geek. I found myself a bookworm digging through my graveyard dirt, but I shouldn't disturb him. It wouldn't be nice to corner the guy. But you can't just be Mr. Nice Guy when you have an arm blade ready for use. I transformed again like Mr. Garrison, and this time I was the chaplain. I was taking a shower to cleanse the sin of showering next to a furry while showering next to a furry. So I needed to eliminate the problem, which I was doing until a bystander with phony morals began stopping me, but then another midget came in and they fought it out. That led to me being able to slip away. The whole lack of oxygen situation was a bummer. It was really bringing me down. Oh no, I'm dead. The half-assed slasher movie is all over. Just kidding. You know there's always sequels or remakes. I brought myself back to life faster than a person who faked their own death but then figured out they won the lottery. After my revival, I linked up with a fellow ling. I bet this loser couldn't even smash a bottle over someone's dome. Pathetic. I got my armor on as my associates searched the caskets for potential bodies like a necrophiliac dating site. Then some punk hoodlum had my new friend restrained, so I had to rep the set like a new recruit trying to impress an OG. My showing off didn't go so well because I was getting burnt and flashed like a rock star at a comedy roast. My heart beats and it's pumping for revenge. I wanted to kill that motherfucker, but his cyborg was protecting him, so I had to back off at first. But then I went against the odds and participated in the 1-on-2 handicap match. It was me versus a gear monkey and his robotic creation. In the first round, I almost got TKO'd, but in the second, I dropped the robot's master, which made the robot itself weaker due to evil villain henchman logic, or something like that. The AI pranked me with a ton of fucking electricity and a door. Easy fix. I needed to hide and had no time for killing AFK players. Maybe. No, gotta stay alive. Focus. I managed to make it on the shuttle alive, but that dickhead with the goatee wasn't having any of that. Great. Now they are both getting revenge, even though I just got revenge. There are too many layers to this revenge and it no longer tastes sweet. After being jumped by a bunch of uncivilized space people, the Borg dragged me off the shuttle and killed me in the process. My body was taken to the middle of the station and trapped within a tomb like I was a pharaoh. You already know mummies exist. I now had the urge to cut harder than a strict emo coach. My first victim happened to be a lizard, then a robot, a corgi, that same robot, some guy, then a bitch mounted up on the robot like it was a horse. Anyways, my arm blade gave me the overall advantage like some super athlete genetics. I was able to decapitate the rando and jouster before the space apocalypse happened.
TG station. We're going back to that place again.
Rolf is not amused!
What are you, some kind of troll?
All that hard work.
Help me! Don't let the monster eat me! Losers! I ain't touching that.
All that hard work. Yeehaw!